How's it going, guys? It's Sam here. Welcome back to a new video. Now, if you're watching this, your landing page conversion rate sucks. I'm only joking, but chances are you're here because either your landing pages aren't converting or perhaps you just know that you can up your game when it comes to landing pages. Now, I've got 10,000 hours or more of experience when it comes to running lead gen ads on Facebook and Instagram. So in this video, I'm going to be not only breaking down all that experience on how to create a landing page that no matter what traffic you throw at it, it just converts like crazy, okay? Not only am I going to break that down, but also I'm going to walk you through an example page, how I built it, and I'm going to give you instructions how you can build one for yourself. Now, I use Go High Level, but you can use any landing page builder. It doesn't matter what it is. So we're going to jump straight into it. First, I'm going to walk you through what is in this video. So let's jump into my screen and get straight to it. Okay, so what are we going to cover in this video? Now, this is 10,000 plus hours of landing page experience, and that comes in the form of running Facebook and Instagram ads, not only for myself but for hundreds and hundreds of clients. So we're going to be covering in this video, we're going to be covering the formula for a high converting landing page. There is kind of a step-by-step formula that you do need to follow, and if you do follow it, you can more or less design a page however you want, and it will always convert traffic into leads. We're also going to look at landing pages versus website. And when is best to use a landing page versus a website. We're going to look at ad congruency, and something you may not have heard of, but this is basically sometimes your landing page isn't converting because your ad or wherever you're sending traffic from is just different expectation to what they're getting when they land on your page. So we'll look at some examples of that. We're going to go through landing page copy, so not only how to design a page, but also how to write killer headlines, how to write killer call to action buttons even. I'm going to go through all of that in this video. We're going to go through landing page images. What are the best styles of images to use depending on the product that you are advertising for? We're going to look at forms and how to customize your forms to increase the amount of people who actually want to complete, not only land on your page and navigate through your page, but actually fill out the form and leave their details. We're going to look at design of the overall design of the page and how to improve it. We're also going to go through a landing page checklist. I've made one for you guys so you guys can see exactly what it is that you need to be doing. And we're going to go through an example page built in Go High Level. Now, obviously, you guys can, not only can you build this in Go High Level, but you guys can also get this exact landing page template inside of the school group, which I have an offer running currently for. So you can join my school group for just $99 per month. Obviously, you're going to get this landing page template, which you can pull directly into your Go High Level account, but you also can get a whole bunch of other resources, as well as access to me. So I won't talk much more about it, but if you want to get access to that limited offer, by the way, click the link in the description down below. Okay, let's get straight into the video. So website versus landing page. Generally speaking, if you are a marketer, so someone that's running Google ads and Facebook ads for clients or other forms of traffic, generally speaking, you want to use a landing page. Okay, websites typically are like showcases or like brochures for a company, right? They might have multiple calls to action points. They might have a newsletter. They might have a gallery section. They may have a FAQ section. They may have an about page, but you don't need all of that information. Now, a landing page, what it is it's taking all the most important parts from a website and it's putting it into one page. Okay, that's all a landing page is doing. Okay, and if you're running Facebook ads, you're using some sort of offer for your clients, and that offer is not going to be replicated on the website. So we really want to build a custom landing page. Just a good comparison here. A landing page versus a website, and obviously that can drastically decrease your cost per acquisition, which is what we want. Okay. Landing page checklist. And the first thing we'll jump into is a landing page checklist. These are all the things that when you're building a landing page, you want to take out your notes or take out your pen and paper and be like, okay, does it include this? Does it include this? These are the things. Number one, a good offer. Now, a landing page, any funnel campaign needs a solid offer. Now, I'm going to go through some examples of those in a little bit. This video isn't about offers, but you do need a good offer. Think about it. If you're advertising product, you need to give the user a reason to opt in now, and that usually becomes through the form of an offer. And we pair our offer with a little bit of scarcity and urgency, which we've got down here. We've created a really, really killer, sort of conversion optimized combination. Okay, we've got a great offer, and that offer is limited by a certain time frame or to a certain number of opt-ins. Then you've got a really, really kind of killer combo there. So good offer, attention grab. That is the headline. You've probably heard of the AIDA principle. That is AIDA. That kind of stands for attention, information, desire, and action. Okay, but I do have added some extra steps and other things I recommend you do include. But yeah, attention grab. We want our headline to grab the user's attention. That is the whole point of a headline. That's why it's front and center. Information. Now, some people say interest or information. I say information. That basically you want the user to have all the information they need to be able to opt in. You're not asking them to buy your product. right? But you're asking for their contact details. So you want to have enough information where they can make a decision as to whether it's worth their time or not. Okay, and I always said here, lack of understanding is what usually causes a high bounce rate on a page. Okay, so it was one of the, it could be one of the causes. So we want to make sure that we give the user all the information they need. It doesn't need to be hugely complex, which I'll show you guys an example of in a bit. Simplicity. You want to make it super simple for the user to opt in. You don't want them to have to scroll down and down and down and make it really difficult to find what they need to do. It needs to be dead simple. Here's what you need to do. So for example, if you're doing, I don't know, the example I'm going to show you is a cleaning landing page. You want to say like, get your first clean today, or book your first clean today. Click here, and it wants to be dead simple for them to understand and use. Desire. We want to create desire, and that comes in the form of creating a gap between what they have and what they want. Okay, usually it's done, desire is created in a form of like images or creatives, which I'll show you guys examples of in a second. But when you're looking at your page, does it make them want your product? That's what you got to think to yourself. So for example, fitness, right? If they see a before and after transformation of a woman who's lost loads of weight and she looks incredible, that's creating a lot of desire in that sort of customer's mind. Okay, so we want to create desire. Proof. Now we want to have this. We want to have proof on our page. That is basically proof that other people have used this product and it is working for them. So that comes in kind of two forms. I've got personal and like status. So what I mean by that is you could have, for example, as featured in, and have like news articles or local publications. That is proof as well. That's kind of credibility. But like more of a personal proof is things like reviews and testimonials. Okay, so ideally you want to have both, but you definitely want to have one or the other to kind of generate some form of proof. And we're going to again show you examples of that later. And then lastly, call to action. You need a really good call to action. It needs to be crystal clear, which we'll go through examples of, and you need to create urgency and scarcity. Now, if we include this example here, now I've taken this page that I've actually designed, and I'm going to be walking you guys through this exact page later and how you guys can replicate this. But this is a great example. So you can see it's a very simple page, but it has all the information that's needed. We've got credibility here with the reviews. So rated 4.9 out of 5 on Google, 105 reviews. We've got an attention grab headline, highly rated, efficient home cleaners based in Surrey. The location call out is another bonus, which you can add if you are able to. We've got information, so we've got 100% satisfaction guarantee, book your first clean within 24 hours, top 5 rated cleaner in Surrey. So kind of like just information about the company. Now, if we scroll down, there is more information about the product, but this the top of fold section more or less has everything that user needs, okay, to make a decision. We've then got a call to actions. We've got book your first clean, just £19.99, and we've got social proof. So we've got a personalized testimonial. So you can handpick one of your clients' actual good testimonials and put that down underneath here. Now, if you're seeing this thinking, well, why don't my pages look like that in Go High Level or ClickFunnels, whatever you're using, don't worry. I'm going to show you guys how you can make it look like this using Canva, and we're going to go through that together as well. We've then got our offer here, and we've got urgency here. So the offer is in the headline, but it's also, I've got it here in a banner, which sort of just another way of just like showing them like this offer's running out soon, get it while you can. And then we've created urgency with the inquire before the 31st of October. Now, this image isn't the best. Probably in hindsight, I probably would have used a before and after image. I just couldn't find a good one. And I thought this image was great. It kind of made the company, this is a made up company just for the purpose of this YouTube video, but it makes the company look more credible, more reliable. And it's just like, kind of the branding of the van, I think helps a little bit to kind of create a little bit more trust. Okay, so there's not always that you have to follow this, and this, but it's a good, like, looking at your page, just trying to, look at the sections. Does it include all of these elements? And if it doesn't include all of them, does it include most of them? Because that's kind of really what you want to be doing. Okay, so congruency. Okay, now I am going to come back to this page, don't worry, but we're going to talk about congruency. Now, if those of you who don't know, congruency is basically almost the consistency from what you're saying on your advert to what you're saying on your landing page. So if you look at this Bark ad, we've got the Facebook ad, which says home care from £105, and it's got an image of kind of a couple together. The landing page says compare free quotes from home care specialists today. So it's kind of like, it's what you would expect when you click on that ad, right? We've also got credibility down here. But it's kind of what you would expect to see, right? If you clicked on it and instead of everything being blue, it was like red and green, and it said, it started talking about something completely different, and the offer was completely different, then the people were going to bounce. So you just got to look at your ad, your landing page, just make sure there's a bit of congruency there, not only in the design and the color scheme and stuff like that, but also in the offer. It's really important the offer is exactly the same on your landing page as the offer is on your Facebook ad or your Google ad, okay? If we go to the next step. Now, I've taken these next few copywriting sections from a blog I love called marketingexamples.com. So if you want to go and check that out, you're more than welcome to do that. But we're going to talk about copywriting. Okay, now I'm going to keep it simple. I'm not going to go into a huge course on copywriting, but I'm going to focus on a few elements. So number one is when your product is unique, all you really have to do, and this is more the headline of your landing page, you just have to explain what it is that you do in as simple words as possible. So if you see, for example, Quantum, we've got coffee-infused energy bars because that's literally what it does, and it's quite a unique product. Muzzle, silence embarrassing notifications while screen sharing. There really is no need to make that headline any more confusing than it needs to be. It's exactly what it says in the tin. We've got 90% off. So 90% of this cleaner is made from food waste, fast, one click, no passwords, the world's fastest checkout. So you kind of want to take the product, you want to explain it as clearly as possible. Now I have given some more examples. So if we take cleaning, for example, we've got affordable and reliable cleaners for homeowners in Surrey. Now there is there is kind of some method to these headlines as well. If you do need a bit, if the product you're selling isn't particularly unique, so let's say you're working with, I don't know, dental clinics or, gyms where there's lots of them, right? So you need something else. A good rule of thumb is to kind of, the easiest way to basically write a hook that addresses your customer's largest objection with that product. So if we go back to my examples, for cleaning, probably the biggest objections that you're going to find is going to be affordability and reliability, right? So I've put affordable and reliable cleaners for homeowners in Surrey. A little bit boring, but it's do what you can with what you've got, basically. Roofing. Don't overpay on a new roof. Get 100% free roof health check and report worth £99. So the biggest kind of, for most people when they're hiring roofer, again, is kind of affordability and reliability. I would say for most local businesses, going to be that, or like service-based businesses. So we kind of check that off, not only with our headline, but also with the offer that we're providing. The offer kind of checks off that objection almost. So we've got don't overpay on a new roof. Get a 100% free roof health check and report worth £99. Okay, the next example is fitness. So probably the biggest objection with fitness is going to be like time input and probably it's going to be time input and actually getting results, right? They're not convinced. So I've put here, lose 10 pounds in 40 days from just 90 minutes of exercise per week. So again, there's a really sort of good examples of headlines. So if we move on to the examples that he's given us from this blog article, we've got the value and we've got the objection. So the value of this product is to rank high on Google. The objection is that they're not good at SEO. It says you don't have to be an SEO pro to rank high on Google, which is nice. It's kind of like, again, you could always put this through ChatGPT and you could kind of get it to spit out some examples for you. ACSAT, which is obviously an American exam, and people thinking it's going to be hard work, is the biggest objection. ACSAT with just 10 minutes of studying per day. So I kind of like that that kind of formula. It's like big value add, objection handler, right? The largest objection. It's kind of a good headline formula. So if we take, for example, I don't know, if we think about like dental clinics, right? It could be, I don't know, it could, I can think of an example now. It could be, whiter teeth in just 90 days, starting from just £99 per month, for example. That's a good example of what a headline could be like. Now, you do have other examples of headlines, which you see in my one. If you've got a really great offer, you can kind of do one of two things. You could either have your kind of value hook as the headline, which is so it's more of a value, like these are like value-based headlines. So for example, affordable and reliable cleaners in Surrey. There's no offer in that headline. And then your sub-headline can be your offer. Okay, so if we go back to my example in here, I've got highly rated efficient home cleaners based in Surrey, and then my sub-headline is my offer. Get your first clean with unlimited rooms for just £19.99 through this page only. Now, I could swap that around and I could have the headline as your first clean for just £19.99, and then the sub-headline could be highly rated efficient home cleaners based in Surrey. I've kind of tested both. I don't have an answer as to which one performs better, but if you wanted to split test it, you could. I probably think if the offer is really strong, put the offer in the headline, and then the sub-headline could be your kind of value-based headline. If your offer is not that strong, but it's still a good kind of like it's still a good offer to get someone to squeeze someone through the page. It's more of like a take action now and get a little benefit kind of offer. Then you kind of want to put that offer in the sub-headline. That's kind of how I would think about this, right? If we carry on through this section. So the next part is subtitles, right? Which is kind of what I just discussed. So subtitles is where you get specific, introduce the product, explain how it creates value in your title. So it's kind of like what I said. You've got your offer and your sub-headline is like, here's what we do, right? It's like, get this, here's what it does kind of thing. So you got the value you provide, and the subtitle is introduce product, how it creates value in your title. So for example, your most restful sleep is just a sip away. Okay. Calming teas that help you relax. So like they're kind of like the value is at the top, and then subheadline is like explaining the product, similar to what I was saying, but mine is value and then offer what you're going to get on this page kind of thing. Because most of the products that we're doing, if we're doing lead gen, most of the products kind of simple, right? They kind of explain themselves. It doesn't take, these are more kind of software related. It's more complex products that need explaining. If you're advertising like, domestic cleaning, it doesn't really need explaining, right? So I think an offer probably works a little bit better. Let's have a look at a couple more examples. How small brands sell more online. So it's an attention grab. Privy's conversion, email marketing, and text messaging tools help you get more customers from your traffic. So you kind of get the idea as to where this is going, okay? Now, the last part of the call to action section is your buttons, okay? Most buttons emphasize an action, which we're all used to, such as like get a quote or start trial or book a consultation, for example, which is fine. You can do that. And another alternative is to just use your offer, which is what I've done in mine, which is just like get your first clean for £19.99. Like that's a good kind of, it's like that's what they wanted. So like that's what you're going to get. So click here to get it. But here's some other options. So if your offer isn't that compelling, you can do what's known as like a call to value. So I do this a lot. So for example, record podcast in studio quality. It might be start recording. That's the call to action. For example, it could be like, get a cleaner home. For example, you get the idea. Or it could be lose 20 pounds in the next 90 days. And your headline could be something like get fit today. You get the idea, right? Another option is objection handle. So this is quite a cool one. So I tend to do this in my sub headline. So, for example, if my objection for the cleaning landing page is, well, I don't know when I'm free. It could be something like, get your clean, first clean for just £99.99. And then my sub headline of my button, or the sub call to action of my button, could be something like, schedule your first slot in the next 24 hours or something like that. Okay, you kind of get the idea. So we've got get started, and people are thinking this going to be expensive. Get started for just $1. So you can kind of put it all in the thing. So the cleaning one, get started for just $19.99. Now, you obviously don't have to have multiple offers all over the page. You could just have it in the button, but I like to have a couple other points in the page where I add my offer, which you're going to see in just a moment. Now, the last part is your image, right? Now, your image is really important. Now, this is where we create desire. So the best thing to do with the image is to portray what's going to happen when they do buy the product or get the product or whatever it is. So, for example, Better Oral Health, we've got a kid here brushing his teeth. Scroll down if you look, dog likes tasty food. We've got a very happy looking dog, right? So you kind of get the idea. Now, generally speaking, for most local service-based businesses, there's going to be some form of transformation, right? So that might be a cleaner home before and after. It might be a new kitchen. That could be it could be a before and after from a gym, like a gym owner. Like a gym member. So typically, like before and after kind of ticks this box. So if you're just not sure what image to use, a before and after typically just ticks that box. Another thing you can use is sliders. Now, Go High Level does actually let you do this, where you can have image sliders. So let's say, for example, it's, like a visual product. You can have different examples of the product being implemented through scrolly images, which gets, not only does it kind of solve this issue, but it also gives the user multiple different versions of that, so they can really see it in different styles, like different types of homes and that kind of stuff. Now, one thing we're going to talk about before we go into the example page is forms. Now, this is just kind of, I would almost say an afterthought, but don't overthink forms, okay? The easiest thing to do is to keep your forms simple. Now, there's a couple of things to mention. You want your form not to be too long. Now, I always see forms, people click it and there's like a bunch of questions and it's all kind of one thing. It's really hard to navigate. Now, most form builders will allow you to kind of stagger your forms. So you can have radio buttons such as this one here, right? You've got you're not saying, hey, give us your contact details. You're saying, what type of massage would you like? So your first question could be like, how many rooms do you have in your home? 0 to 3, 3 to 6, 6+, you get the idea. So it's nice and easy for them to navigate, as opposed to it being super complex and like long and clunky, right? So it's not hugely important, but you want your form questions to be easy to answer, which is really important. So you don't want it to be a question such as like, what is your monthly energy bill? Or who is your monthly energy provider? They might just not know that information off the top of their head. Now you can give them brackets, so you can say 0 to 50, 50 to 100, 100+, for example, but you need to make it easy to answer. You don't want to ask a question where if they don't know the answer, they're just going to bounce, okay? So you want to make it easy for them to answer those questions. Now, We're going to jump now into Go High Level, and I'm going to show you the page that I built and how I built it. So this is the page example, and there's a few things I've done on this page that kind of follows the same template as the examples shown in the slideshow, right? I just went through. We've got our social proof here. We've got our call to action here. We've got our information about the product here. We've got our proof here. We've also got the kind of sub headline, which I mentioned, and we've got an image slider. So I can preview this page here and show you what it looks like in real time. Now, the images aren't great because it's not a real company. I made this up just for the purpose of this video, but you can have different product images here that portray your product in different ways. And if we scroll down, we've also got, you know, below the fold, which is kind of where I focus most of my attention. Below that, I typically tend to follow a simple, kind of the same sort of structure, which is like the AIDA structure. So we've got attention, interest, desire, action. So we've got information. So we've got information, such as like, what's the logical next question that user might have? In this instance, it might be like, what do you actually clean? So you can put that there. And then it might be, we've got another kind of call to action button. We've got your first click, you know, what's the offer? How does it work? We've got information about what the offer is and what's included in that offer, along with another call to action. And then we've got like attention, information, desire. So we're hearing from customers that you could do to customers. You could put the before and afters next to them, things like that. And then we've got another call to action at the bottom. So it kind of covers those steps. As you can see, I've only really got 4 sections, my head section on my above the fold, my second section, my third section, and my fourth section. The only thing you could really add to this page to maybe glam it up a little bit, you could have an FAQ section at the bottom, but it's a pretty simple product. I don't think it necessarily needs that. So we're kind of getting by with this page the way it is. Now, if you look at what I've done here, now everything in here is Go High Level. Okay, so you guys can take this template by joining my paid school group, which I'll leave a link to down below. I'll leave a link to this page inside of that group. But there's a few things I've added in here, and that is these reviews. So Go High Level doesn't give you the ability to put, for example, text next to images, but sometimes that really makes your landing page look much, much better. So if you've got here, you can just do this in Go High Level. All you need to do is copy the same text, like the typography that you're using, and then you can then copy that into Go High Level. So if we go over here, we can click on this, and this is what I've done. So I've just literally gone to Go High Level. I've taken a Google icon, I've taken a 5-star icon, and I've added my text, and I can export this, crop it so it's tight, and I can then pull it back into my page, and I can make it just with a simple thing like that. I can turn, you know, what's a seemingly simple builder and make it look really complex and make it look really good. We've also got the testimonial here. Again, just a Canva template for a frame, like a circular frame with an image of the person. Little review, 5 stars, you get the idea. And then I've done the same thing with the Google review here. I've got all of this in here, and it's super easy to do this yourself. And you guys can literally took me to build this whole page from scratch. It took me probably an hour. And if obviously you've got multiple clients, all you have to do is build one great page, and you can then replicate that and just change icons, logos, copy, that kind of stuff to suit the client. It doesn't take me that long. Okay, guys. So yeah, if you obviously want this page, I'll leave a link down below where you can join and get access to it. That's pretty much the end of this training. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you guys like these in-depth kind of trainings around certain topics, I'm planning on doing one around Facebook ads. So if you're interested in getting better at Facebook ads, make sure that you subscribe down below. Give the video a like if you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.